Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, Prigozhin seems to be dead at this point. We don't have any other information to say otherwise. In the meantime, these guys here are trying to place the blame, obviously, on one guy, which is Vladimir Putin, with no evidence. But hey, they are trying to tell us they believe it makes sense it was Putin. Well, I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was an accident. I don't know if it was I don't know, NATO missile. I don't know if it was a Russian missile. I don't know if the was a how do you call it, sabotage. I don't know if it was just an accident. I have no idea. And obviously, we're gonna have different views on this until they will be allowed to release the whatever happened. I don't know, 10 years or so, or maybe like what's his name, JFK. Never. Not everything. Why? Because we don't want to endanger certain institutions, organizations, departments, agencies. Anyway, so what happened here? We have a few guys coming out and saying, he did it, and others say, I didn't do it, and they point the finger at the Kremlin saying, why is the Kremlin not commenting on this? So let's see who benefited actually. Like in any investigation, one of the few questions that you ask as to start up is like ABC 1, 2, 3. Before you run, you need to stand up. Okay? Is this Cui Bono? That means who benefits. And the other one, follow the money. Who benefits with the money? They're kind of related. But the one is who benefits from this situation, this accident of Prigozhin, the death of Prigozhin. So let's get the main suspects. Okay, one, Putin. Is he a suspect? Could be. Now, I think one of the main suspects is the Russian military, which is two people. Remember, Prigozhin did not have a problem with Putin. Had a problem with Gerasimov, General Gerasimov, and Shoigu. Not with Putin. He said he's going to be marching to Moscow to restore Putin's blah, 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 and the Russians. And he had a problem with those. So Putin is here. I'm going to use all of them that are the main actors in my view. Putin, the Russian military, Zelensky, Ukraine, and the West. And let's put another unknown, which could be his adversaries, Prigozhin adversaries, enemies that we might not know of. Do you can think of anybody else? This is in case someone did it to him. Not an accident. We put the accident outside. This would be the beneficiaries of this guy's disappearance in the crash. So let's get Putin. Putin, why would he benefit out of this? Or let's put it differently. I think that out of these five, the most will benefit the West. The West, which is the United States of America and its plantation. Why? Because if you put the influence of Prigozhin, I'm sorry, I can put the Poles, but the Poles, I'm going to put them in the West, in the United States of America, and Ukraine particularly, even though Ukraine is part of these guys, but particularly Ukraine. Why? Who, again, benefited and who lost the most because of Prigozhin? The West. Prigozhin is involved in, Wagner Group is involved in Africa. That's bigger than Putin's feelings being hurt by Prigozhin, who actually did not have a problem with Putin. Had a problem with the Gerasimov and Shoigu. So that's it's a misleading lead, Putin. I'm not discarding Putin whatsoever, okay? But so you have the West, because this guy had interventions in Africa, he got interventions in Ukraine, and now in Belarus. Remember how the Poles lost it when 8,000 Wagnerites with light machine guns were deployed in Belarus? Not with tanks, not with F-16s, not with howitzers, nothing. Remember, they had, oh my God, that's a threat. We are under threat. So they had been more of a threat to Poland than to Putin. That's one thing, according to them. The West, as I said, is threatened by the Wagnerites in Africa and in Europe, and in now they're out of of Ukraine. Ukraine has a reason. Why? Remember who fucked them up in Bakhmut? Prigozhin, and not only. So he doesn't like them at all for what they did to him. So he hates them directly, hates. Ukraine armed forces, were beaten by this guy in Bakhmut. There's no way around it. And not only. So again, that's much more than the 2 hours uprising of the Wagnerites in Rostov-on-Don, and that's it. Okay? And then they met with Putin in 6 days. What the hell was that? 36 commanders of Wagner plus Prigozhin met in the Kremlin with Putin. If Putin really wanted to take care of this guy, would have taken him right there, right? Oh no, he takes his time. Okay, he could, but why he? He didn't have much. Oh, his feelings were hurt. Now put hurt feelings versus Africa, Belarus, and Ukraine as the West. Who do you think is more hurt? Putin, who eventually obviously won, or these guys who eventually are scared to death? These guys are in Africa, taking over Africa. So I think the West had the most interest, plus I would say Ukraine, to take care of this guy. I don't know if they did or they didn't. I don't know yet. Now who else was over there? Gerasimov and Shoigu. Yes, and they couldn't have done it without Putin's consent, unless they are in charge and not Putin. We're told that Putin is such an evil guy that he would just do whatever he wants. And from time to time, we realize that people are doing hanky-panky behind this guy's back. How is he so powerful? Anyway, the opposition is still working in Russia, and the media, the opposition media, is still there. How about Ukraine? I would like to hear it. He banned certain newspapers. Anyway. So let's go back to this guy. I think Putin gets let's say from 0 to 10, 0. No, he already has some implication because we have him as a suspect. But as a value of the suspect, from 0 to 10, 10 would be like, oh my God, he benefits a lot. I would give Putin a 1 or 2. I would give Gerasimov out of 10. I would give Gerasimov and Shoigu a 4 or 5. I would give Ukraine a 3 or 4. I would give the West about 9. West being United States and these guys. And then the rest, the other ones, I can assess really the fifth one, and I left it as other because I don't know who he stepped on whose dick, so I can't go on that. I can't assess that. So I think remember Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2 pipelines in the Baltic Sea, right? Again, we went by this process of elimination, and we found out, at least I found out, I have no doubt, that the main suspect was someone else than, they say, it was Russia. Again, Russia, blowing its own thing. Okay, Kakhovka dam, Russia. Based on what evidence? It exploded. We say they did it. The same they did with many other things. Remember, those missiles that fell in Poland, it was the Russians. No, it was yours. Oh, the Russian missiles crossed into Romania. No, they didn't. It's like they tried each and every time to get NATO in. You know who. So anyway, my friends, this guy, if he's dead, I don't think that Putin had the main, just for his ego. Well, you can portray him as an idiot, but I don't know how he stays in power if he's such an idiot and ego plays such an important role in his life. And I don't believe, and I don't assess Putin as a guy with a big ego. And I will tell you, hold your horses, I will tell you why. He was reacting to, for instance, remember now King Charles III, when he compared Putin with Hitler? What did he say? He could have said about Charles many things. He didn't say anything. He said, well, that is below the level of the British crown. Who won? Thug? Or this guy who said, you know what, that's below you. You can do better than that. Okay, you had Hillary Clinton. Remember when she said that Putin is what did he say? He said, well, it's not she doesn't even elicit, needs an answer. I mean, just look at her record. Again, she called him this, he didn't react to that. He could have said many things about her and her husband. Then it was Biden. Oh yeah, I think he's a criminal. Remember when he said that Putin is a criminal? How did Putin react? Well, you need to be one, or you need to be one to recognize one, or something like that. See, he could have said many things about him, and I'm pretty sure Russia has a lot of information on Biden and all the Ukrainian hanky-panky with Hunter. He was called all kind of things. He didn't react. He was called many names by many people. He never said it. Never. I'm not aware of. And doesn't mean that didn't happen, right? If you're not aware of. But I don't have any. When he said, "Well, you're a thug, you're this," I never heard that from this guy. So if you have a big ego, you don't let them, because it sounds like you are hurt by these guys calling you criminal. What's your first, reaction? No, you are a criminal. You're a bigger criminal than I am. He was just, well, all the answers these guys gave, it did not show, to me at least, an ego paranoid guy that, he's like, remember these guys with, you're a, how do you call it, the rocket man, the other one, you're a fat boy, the other one. What is this? Well, this is the level of a population who enjoys this kind of the audience that enjoys this kind of bullshit in the news, promoted by and sold by their media, their free media. This is the level. They ask, for instance, why is Putin not reacting? I'm going to show you here about 4 articles. So here, the first one. Ukrainska Pravda. UK military believes Prigozhin's death was organized by FSB. Really? Believes. When you say believes, and UK military has so much credibility like that. I read the article. They just say the believe. Believe is because they based everything because Russia, Putin is bad and he told these guys to kill him. That's why basically they say, based on no evidence, just interpretations. This is not it. Next one. We have nothing to do with this, Zelensky said on Prigozhin's death. Well, why do you feel like coming out and saying something? Why do you feel like coming out and say something? Why do you need to do that? As I said, I give you this an analogy many times. A crime occurs across the street to the neighbor's house, let's say, and it's police and detectives and investigators and, emergency personnel over there. And I walk outside in my flip-flops and say, hey, time out, wait, listen to me. I have nothing to do with this, okay? I didn't commit anything. Turn around and I go back in my little shack. Why would I do that? Well, some media elicits that from you. They say, you should come and say that. No, I don't. I have nothing to do with that. I don't feel like I have to. Why do I need to come and say about a private guy who died in the plane accident? Why do I care about it that much? He's dead. You can celebrate if you want, as the Ukrainians might do, because Prigozhin is gone. But on the other hand, Prigozhin is gone, another one is back in. What do you think? I think gray hair, we're going to take over Wagner. So you don't draw attention. Why do you say that? Well, wait, we're going to go to the neighbor. When I see that neighbor walking, I'm going to go and say, hey, Mike, I didn't screw your wife, okay? Just so you know. Why would you go and say that? Why do you need to say that? You're going to say, why do you need to tell me this, Emil? Did you do that? Why do you feel that you need to come and tell me you didn't screw my wife? Again, and this is what the media tries right here. They come with this article. Prigozhin's body taken to the medical examiner's office as Kremlin remains silent. Why would they say something about it? So the media wants the Kremlin to jump through the media's hoops of coming out and being an idiot like this guy. We have nothing to do with this, Zelensky on Prigozhin's death. Why do you need to come out and say it? To clear the air? Like we're gonna believe you? It's like Putin comes tomorrow and says, I have nothing to do with this, and goes back in the Kremlin. What do you think the media will do? That shows guilt. He leads us on a wrong path of an investigation and blah, blah, blah. All right, my friends, go by Cui Bono. Who benefits? That's the first thing. And as of now, I think the West benefits the most out of this. First, and then I think it's Ukraine, and then I think is, what's his name, Gerasimov and Shoigu, and I think Putin is somewhere down the list. He is there. He's down the list. And someone said, I read a comment, and said, well, Putin is the president of a country. He will not do that. I suggest you go around the block a few times and rub people and not like that, but go over there and rub your shoulders and your elbows with people and find out the depths of the human nature. And then you come and tell me you think Putin is in charge of the Russian Federation because he's a painter? He's an artist because he's a, ping pong player. Do you think that's the way he stays in power over there? People are to get him. That's how it works in certain areas. You think, oh no, it's different. my friends, my friends, my friends. Putin has a lot of enemies inside Russia and outside in London. A lot of people fled with their little money. Why? He took care of certain kind of oligarchs and they left. Do you think that those guys are not trying to get rid of these guys so they go back to the Yeltsin times? He got like, he's not Jesus Christ, okay? Let's start with that one. Putin is not Jesus Christ. Got it? All right. But I'm going to use the analogy. Remember when our Savior Jesus Christ entered the temple in Jerusalem? That's what this guy, as an analogy, did. And he was in the temple. He was part of it. He looked around. He threw everybody out. Remember? Now the same thing this guy did with some oligarchs and some, us the Russians inside. Not these idiots here that say, oh, I read a newspaper that Putin has, I'm going to tell this story later. Putin has a palace. Putin has a yacht. Yeah, he has a lot of things. Yeah, because CNN told you. That's great source of information. So anyway, this is what I have to say about Prigozhin's death. And I think until these guys come with a conclusion on who's who, what's what, I will wait. And there's nothing more to say about this guy. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. Actually, I have one more article ready for you where you're going to see the Wagner mercenaries crying, sobbing for, anyway, because of Prigozhin's death.